Next, we're gonna welcome Decentralix from Beets. He's here to talk through the yield layer for Sonic's trillion-dollar economy. I can't wait for this, and I know you can't either, because this topic got a lot of talk on X. I know a lot of people are super excited to hear about this, and I am too. So let's welcome on stage Decentralix. Stage is all yours.
Hi everyone, my name is Decentralix and I contribute to Beets as a music director and as an active DAO member. And it's truly a pleasure to be here today. This is actually our very first appearance as Beets on any public stage. Thank you. So over the past 4 years, through market cycles and even across chains, we've been focused on building. So it's both humbling and exciting to finally step out and tell our story. First, I want to give a big shout out to the Sonic Labs team, to Michael Kong, Andre, Bernhard, Sam, and the rest of the crew, and to the broader Sonic ecosystem. Without their work laying the foundations, none of this would be possible. Sonic isn't just the environment we build in, it's the reason Beets exists as it does today. Today, we want to share how Beets has evolved into what we call the native yield layer for Sonic's trillion-dollar economy. This is not just another product. It's about the connective tissue that helps scale Sonic into the next chapter. We'll keep it simple. A clear story, real numbers, and a bit of personality. Hopefully, by the end, you'll see not just what Beets is, but why it matters for Sonic. As some of you Phantom OGs know, Beets turned 4 last month. And as cliche as it sounds, in crypto years, it's basically dinosaur territory. But instead of fossilizing, we kept moving. Through the ups and downs, we've kept building. And along the way, we're proud to say we've made some key contributions. We started out collaborating closely with Balancer, bringing their technology into new ecosystems. That partnership gave us the foundation to keep experimenting, building out primitives that pushed capital efficiency and set the stage for what came next. But the real turning point came when we stepped into liquid staking. By acquiring SFTMX and evolving it into STS, we didn't just fill a gap. We created what's now Sonic's largest liquid staking token. STS secures the network, anchors a large part of Sonic DeFi, and has become the foundation of the flywheels we'll show you today. So when Sonic emerged, we didn't just migrate, we committed fully. We saw in Sonic the chance to take everything we have learned and turn it into something bigger. Beets today is powered by a lean global team of contributors and active community that steers the DAO. Our edge comes from the partnership at the core of what we do. With Balancer, whose technology powers our AMM stack, Dan, Balancer's CTO, is one of our core contributors, so we aren't just using Balancer tech, we are pushing its innovation forward here on Sonic. And with protocols like Aave, where STS integrates seamlessly, creating yield primitives that are institutional grade by design. This isn't just about code. This is about community. Beets is run by its DAO, with music directors and contributors making decisions together. And while this is our first time on stage, it's definitely not our first rodeo. The focus has always been on building first, talking second. That's who we are, contributors, partners, and the community aligned to make Beets the native yield layer of Sonic. To understand today's role of Beets, it helps to look at where we stand on Sonic. First, there's liquid staking. STS is now the largest LSD on the network with more than 285 million S staked, making it the anchor for much of Sonic DeFi. Second, there's liquidity. Beets has grown into Sonic's largest DEX, facilitating over $1.3 billion in volume. Third, there's infrastructure. We've designed over 18 million S is staked directly at the Beets validator, securing the network with governance guided by the DAO. On the token side, we've designed something rare in DeFi, a reflexive model where buybacks often outpace emissions. With over 20 million Beets bought back, the value that's being generated is being recycled back into the system. And finally, our treasury. More than $3 million diversified across BTC, ETH, and stables managed with a structured risk framework. It's modest by TradFi standards, but in DeFi terms, it's a resilient base. These numbers aren't just milestones. They're proof that Beets is already deeply integrated with Sonic. And that's why we're positioned not just to grow with Sonic, but to help lead its next phase. To understand why this moment matters, we need to zoom out a bit. Because what's really at stake here is the foundation for a trillion-dollar economy, and this is the core of the Sonic thesis. The idea is simple. As capital moves on-chain, stablecoins, payments, tokenized assets, it needs infrastructure that can handle scale instantly and securely. Let's break that down. First, we have tokenized assets, bonds, treasuries, equities. These markets are measured in the tens of trillions. As they migrate on-chain, they need infrastructure that won't break under the weight. Second, there's stablecoins. They're already a 300 billion market, and they now settle more value than Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal combined. And they're still only scratching the surface. Third, there's payments. Traditional payment rails move trillions every year, but they're slow, fragmented, and expensive. The shift to instant programmable settlement is inevitable. The Sonic thesis is that a market this large can't be served by yesterday's blockchains. It demands scalable, instant settlement technology, and that's exactly what Sonic was built for. The Sonic thesis only holds if the chain beneath it can actually carry a trillion-dollar economy. And that's what makes Sonic different. It's not just another EVM with faster blocks. It's a chain designed to run at industrial scale. Transactions finalize in under a second. Fees are below a cent. And even under a global payment load, Sonic barely breaks a sweat. The point here isn't the numbers themselves. It's more about what they unlock. A payment system that's instant and cheap. An execution layer that doesn't clog. Infrastructure that can handle real-world capital flows without breaking. That's why Sonic became the fastest chain to 1 billion TVL, with more than 100 apps already running, and why core players like Aave and Circle have integrated so early. This isn't speed for the sake of speed. It's performance that makes the Sonic thesis viable. A chain engineered not for hype, but for capital. In less than a year, Sonic has done the hard part. It's laid the foundations. The rails are in place. The economies are aligned through fee monetization. And with partners like Aave, Chainlink, Pendle, Circle, and more, the ecosystem already has depth and resilience. That foundation is strong, but foundations are just the beginning. DeFi has given Sonic its base, stablecoins, lending, liquidity, and it's proven the model works. Now the opportunity is to build on top of it, to move from billions today to trillions tomorrow, to expand from DeFi native flows into broader financial flows. This is a transition point, from laying foundations to activating the next stage of growth. The base is set. Now Sonic is ready to scale. Most of you already know this. In August, the DAO voted to establish a US entity. Sonic's US expansion plans have also been a big topic at this summit. with Sonic Labs fully aligning on this mission. The point isn't the headline, it's why it matters. The US is the gateway to regulated capital. If Sonic is going to underpin a trillion-dollar economy, it needs to meet institutions on their own terms, with the structures they already trust. And that's exactly what's being built right now. An ETF for S, a regulated wrapper that allocators are comfortable with. A pipe deal on NASDAQ, which is tying Sonic's economy directly into traditional markets. And Sonic USA LLC, the legal foothold to operate and partner inside the world's largest financial market. This isn't just expansion, it's a signal. Sonic is building the on-ramps for institutional capital. And that raises the key question. When that capital arrives, how does it actually flow into Sonic's economy? That's the on-ramp. They're a structure that lets regulated capital flow into Sonic, starting with Sonic strategy on NASDAQ and scaling into ETFs, treasury products, and more. But access on its own is not enough. Once that capital arrives, it needs to become productive, aligned with Sonic's economy. That's where Beets comes in. On our side of the bridge, we provide the yield architecture that makes the system work. The Sonic staking program, growing stake, liquidity, and validator alignment. Ultrasonic money, transparency and data building trust. And loops, the first in a series of native yield primitives. The formula is simple. Access leads to productivity, leads to yield. That's opened the door. Beets puts the capital to work. Today, we are introducing a couple of things we've been working on. The first thing is ultrasonic money. Institutions don't buy hype. They buy fundamentals, backed by data they can trust. That's exactly what ultrasonic money delivers. It's the financial front page for Sonic, a real-time dashboard that tracks metrics like throughput, TVL, staking, fees, yields, app activity, all in one place. It's not just numbers on a screen. It's data that is transparent, because anybody can audit it. It's exportable data. Allocators can plug it straight into their models. And it's credible, a joint build between Beets and Sonic Labs. What it shows is that Sonic already functions like a financial system. Stablecoin settlement is already happening today. Native bridging is live and secure. And the economics are clear and circular. As Sonic expands into the US, this transparency is what will give institutions confidence. Because trust isn't built on promises, it's built on proof. Now, let's zoom into the core of Sonic's yield architecture, the Sonic staking program. STS isn't just a staking token. It's the foundation of Sonic's capital productivity. Here's how the flywheel works. First, S is staked and converted into STS. Then, STS is deployed into DeFi, into Aave, into liquidity. As a result of that, the STS markets deepen, validator security strengthens, and lending capacity expands. Yield is retained and compounds within the Sonic economy. It's simple but powerful. And thanks to our close partnership with Aave, the loop is being incentivized to stay profitable for the foreseeable future. For validators, this means more capital and bonus delegation. For DeFi users, it means liquidity with extra yield. And for Sonic, it means that economic security scales with adoption. This is alignment by design. Staking, liquidity, and yield all reinforcing each other. Everything we've covered so far, the staking program, the liquidity rails, the validator alignment, it all builds towards one question. How do we make Sonic's native yield effortless? This is our answer. Today, we are introducing loops. Loops takes the complexity of the STS loop, to supply, to borrow, restake, and to repeat, and automates it. The result is a single token called Loops. That token is composable. It can move anywhere across Sonic DeFi. It's tradable and liquid by design. And it's deployable. It's a building block for new strategies. For allocators, it's risk-adjusted, institutional-grade yield. For individuals, it's a one-click access to Sonic's most efficient loop. And for the ecosystem, it connects back into the Beets stack: validators, STS liquidity, and the DEX. What Loops represents is bigger than one product. It's the proof point of a much larger stack we've been building: Beets as the native yield layer of Sonic. Think of it in 4 parts: native S-yield, staking and STS as the economic foundation, ultrasonic money, the on-chain intelligence layer, transparent and auditable, institutional readiness, structured systems for capital efficiency and trust, and now Loops, the first in a new class of Sonic native yield primitives. Each piece reinforces the others. Together, they form an integrated system, composable, capital efficient, and built for scale. And Loops is just the first step. Beets is built for this exact moment. As Sonic expands into the real economy, Beets will expand with it, in lockstep, as the liquidity engine and the native yield layer. From a community DAO to an institutional platform, the story is still just beginning. And we are honored to be building it together, with Sonic and with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Beets. That was